If you've asked yourself how to invest in the stock market and decide what stocks to buy, especially at this time, then this video is for you. I interviewed Jan Ocampo, the founder of The Present, where he will be sharing his ideas, thoughts, and strategies on how to survive and succeed during this crisis. Coming up. What's up, everybody? This is Fibo Lim, and welcome to our Entrepreneurs Charity Summit. In this summit, I'll be interviewing 20-plus influencers, experts, entrepreneurs. I'm going to extract their mind, and I'm going to discover ano yung mga sekreto nila. I'm going to discover what they're doing right now, because my goal is, I know a lot of you entrepreneurs are struggling, affected by this crisis, by this, you know what's happening right now. And I know one of the best ways for you to give hope and courage, and alam nyo anong gawin, is to interview the best of the best people out there, okay? And right now, and what's gonna happen, by the way, is it is a fundraising activity. We'll be donating 100% of the proceeds to our frontliners like the PNP, AFP, and health workers, so that we can provide them their personal protective equipment. Okay, so now, what I've brought you here is one of the people who I idolize. To give you a backstory lang, no, I saw his content sa Facebook, and it was in Bisaya, and sabi ko, wow, and it has like millions of views, like a lot of shares, and sabi ko, wow, I mean, this guy is doing really good. And if you think of it, yung videos niya, hindi siya like malupit na production, wala. It's the reason what makes a lot of his shares, if his content really good, is, I mean, what makes his page or his bakit marami shares, it's really because of his content, his ideas. And sabi ko, why not if I try to reach out to this person? And the truth is, when I reach out to this person, I felt I felt afraid, no? Sabi ko, baka ma-reject na ako nito kasi he doesn't know who I am. And this guy is he founded and created the brand The Present, which is, when I check, parang almost 300,000 followers na and counting. And that is really amazing. As in, wow, that's amazing. So this is the person you want to follow, maybe if ever, especially pag Bisaya ka, di ba? He has a lot of videos about Bisaya, and I never believed na isang Bisaya could really massively change, the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleasured and happy and excited to introduce to you isa sa mga ina-idolize ko, Mr. Jan Ocampo.
Hello guys, grabe naman yung idolize, Fibo. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to help you out in this venture of yours.
Right.
And I actually saw you way back na rin. I attended one of your events here in Davao when you were doing a 2-hour event.
Yeah.
Sa SM Lanang. So
right.
I attended one of your events, kaya I know a little bit about you na rin.
Yeah, thank you. So Jan, how should I call you, by the way? Jan? Sir
yeah,
Jan.
Kasi the reason why it's Jan, it's January. I was born in January, right. So right. Jan. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Jan. Now you have a brand called The Present, and it has massively, kumbaga, kung meron 300,000 followers, how much more if maraming tao na who followed your page or watch your contents hindi pa nag-like. So kumbaga, my guess, millions of people have watched your content. Can you share siguro about the quick backstory on how this came about, and para at least alam namin?
Okay, so the story behind it was like I was working with my uncle, so I was doing sales, operations, and logistics for his business. He had an importation business, and he was trading feed ingredients. Or tapos yung customers namin, they are focused on like farms and feed mills and backyards. So that's my responsibilities kanya. And every time I'm going to the customers, since I'm also doing sales, I want to learn through an audio book. And one of the books that I purchased was Gary Vaynerchuk's Crush It.
Great.
So he talked about building a brand, personal brand, and then I just applied it. I just thought, okay, maybe this is something that we can do as a business, because I have always wanted to have my own.
Right.
And a lot of people have been telling me that I have this talent or gift that I can simplify complicated things.
Right.
And so I took it a shot, and it started in Facebook, then eventually expanded to YouTube. I didn't have any idea as to how we're gonna edit the videos.
Right.
Don't have any idea as to how we're going to put the content out, specifically if it's going to be graphic, image, graphic, text, or videos. Then we just started doing it and then improved along the way. And after 8 months, after 8 months of the grind,
Right.
doon pa siya nag-viral yung isang video namin, which is yung sa Bisaya, it's nga nung pobre man gihapon ko. In
Right, I
English,
saw
why
that.
we are still poor.
I saw that.
So that video was the first one that went viral. So it currently has 4.2 million views.
Wow.
And because of it, it became like, like a constant thing. Followers are going up. And then we also got invitations from different institutions and companies to train their staff about finances as well, and eventually expanding to a business now. So yeah, that's the story of how it started.
I'm curious, how many videos have you published before your first viral video?
A lot. I couldn't count, but there were a lot of videos, like maybe around, so currently we have 258 in total in Facebook.
Wow.
And maybe it was around 80 videos before it went viral. That's the first one.
Siguro,
So, yeah.
That's the reason why wala pa akong video nag-viral, no? Kasi parang hindi pa umabot ng 80 videos. I mean, John, your story really inspired me. I remember I was in Malaysia and a friend of mine, we were doing business together, and sabi niya, "Uy bro, kilala mo ba niya itong The Present? Ano to?" "Oh, nakita ko to." "Oh bro, why don't you do something like this?" Sabi ko, "Oh nga no." And then up till now, hindi ko pa rin nagawa. I just have this question. What motivated you to keep going even if you had videos na konti lang yung shares? I'm sure that when you started publishing your first 10 videos, you just got 5 likes, 1 share. Diba? Yung 1 share, yung asawa mo pa nag-share, diba? So, what motivated you to keep going? Kasi I'm sure you don't know how to edit videos, you don't know how to do this. You just have a message you want to share, pero you don't even know where you're going. You don't know how to monetize it, most probably. What kept you going?
The main thing is that I know the end game, or it's like the purpose of why I even started it. Because when we started The Present, it's me with my wife, which was my ex-girlfriend pa yung panahon pa yun.
Right.
So, wife ko na siya ngayon.
Right.
And ang nangyari kasi was like when Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about crush it in the book, I understand, and I even follow him a lot.
Right.
So parang naintindihan ko yung we have to do this for the long term, and we're building brand equity. Sometimes it may not be successful for like a year, 6 months, or 2 years. But the fact that I know that this is something that we're building a brand that is going to be good in the future and it is adding value to people, then yun, parang I am stemming from that. That's the core reason. And then the likes, the followers, and the views are just plus factors of it. So there were moments that the views were not really that well. For example, from 1 million views, the next video umabot na siya ng 500,000 or umabot siya ng 100,000 views. But at the end of the day, I know that those people who are watching the videos, it may be that video is the trigger that could change their life,
Great.
And so that alone makes me wanna just do it consistently.
Great.
And yeah, just try to give value to people. So,
great. So kasi so who edits the videos? Is it your friend, or you hired somebody, or paano ba?
It's mostly me right now. So I didn't know how to edit the videos.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's mostly me. Sometimes it's my wife, but most of the time it's me because she has also other things to do. And yeah, basically
Dude, I know how hard it is to edit a video, especially when you put subtitles.
Yes.
I started
Yes.
editing
True.
my first video with subtitles kasi mano-mano yun eh. Okay lang pag cut-cut, pero pag may subtitle, oh my gosh. Grabe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Challenging talaga.
All right. Anyways, what do you have? Kasi the takeaway I got is when you started it, you already have an end. You started with an end in mind, kumbaga. So
Yes.
that's a powerful takeaway na I got from you. Uh, do you already know in advance like how to monetize, or what was your plans, or do you have an idea about that when you started?
I didn't know how to monetize the brand because I
Mhm.
was focusing on building the brand first, and then
Right.
my mindset is really just when the brand is going to be good, then the money will just follow.
Great.
But there was definitely one picture that I could clearly see when I was still building the brand, or when
Mm.
we were building the brand, is that we will be invited by different companies to talk about the things that we are sharing online.
Right.
And like in the beginning it happened,
Uh,
but it was for free, of
right.
course.
Right.
And then eventually we started to charge for for speaking engagements and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And kaya ayun, so that was the only clear picture that I have when we started it. Like that was a clear monetary system that we're going to do. Then eventually Facebook advertising revenue came in, and then
Okay.
YouTube advertising revenue came in,
Right.
affiliates were coming in.
Right.
And so I thought, oh, okay, so these are things that we can do to monetize our
Mm.
brand.
Mm.
And yeah, so it
Yeah.
it's just something that popped up while we were doing the brand.
Kasi I think binago mo na yung cover photo. I checked last time. I think you're publishing 2 times a week. Is that correct? Or
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So when you started, were you consistent with 2 times a week, or parang try ko lang, try ko lang? How did it work?
When it started, wala talaga siyang parang I just upload anytime that I want to upload it. And then as I was watching like YouTube videos of some people stating that you should put out consistently at least once a week. So I tried that as well. I even tried once a day, and that was well, it was a wrong move.
I get it.
So every day, like so it was a wrong
Yeah.
move. And then so the thing is, the consistency part is once a week,
Mm.
and it's also strategic. We're not putting
Okay.
out a lot of content, and people are not going to get bored. Like it's the same guy or things like that.
Yeah.
So the mindset was it's like a series. When you watch series, it's like it's once a week, and so that's what happened.
Mm.
And then since a lot of people have been messaging and commenting about like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about
Okay.
that? And so the demand has been increasing. And so that's the reason why we also increased the posting from once a week to twice a week.
Okay. Wow.
So,
So I was supposed to ask this question. How do you come up with contents based on the questions? Tama ba? Or like, paano ba? How do you come up with, how do you come up with contents? Have you experienced, so, bali 200 videos? Well, not, siguro I can say na you have experienced this, pero have you experienced na parang naubusan ka ba ng content or paulit-ulit na lang siya?
yes.
Mm. And
Yes.
how do you come up with contents? By questions or like?
So ang nangyari, so meron kaming mga content na we already published it way back.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we delivered it differently because iba rin yung experience ko that time,
Okay.
and then iba rin
Right.
yung stories na ginamit ko.
Right.
And so parang repurpose lang ng content and then share a different supporting statement to support
Right.
that context. So yun lang naman ang
Yeah.
style.
Well,
Pero mahirap talaga.
That's a takeaway. That's a takeaway. I have experienced that na parang naubusan ako ng content and sabi ko, why would I talk about this again? And I talked about. So I learned from you na it's repurposing pero you're giving it in a different scenario, bali ibang angle na naman. So which is a good takeaway. Bali, I have a question. Did you read or learn before you start shooting your contents, or you're going it along the way? Kumbaga, sabi na nga Gary Vaynerchuk, documentation. Um d- do you did you start this while learning, or did you learn first before you start this?
Start this while learning.
Mm,
So in the beginning, the content that we were putting out was like just anything, you
right.
know, like literally anything. Sometimes I post pictures about my family. Sometimes I post pictures about. So there was no clear picture as to what the brand is about.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And in fact, when it started, I was very confused if I'm going to use the present as a brand or my personal name, which is Jan
Mm-hmm.
Ocampo. So, and I thought about it really hard and just think about, okay, let's just put it like the present. It's like we have an entity, because I'm thinking of the present as a business, which is it is a business right
Right.
now.
Right.
But when we started, I was very confused because people associate the brand with me. So it's
Right.
like when you say
Mm,
the present, it's Jan. That's it.
right.
And that's also the reason why we're collaborating with different people as well, so that they will see that I'm like
Mm,
the host of the present,
right.
but I can also have other people around it.
Right.
And yeah, and it wasn't the advantage that I had was I was working for a digital agency for 4 years and 6 months
Mm,
before I was working with my uncle.
mm, mm,
So what happened was we were exposed to what we are doing, like digital marketing,
right.
content management system, customer, like the things that you talked about in
Right.
your seminar.
Right.
It's the same thing. And uh, I also shot like videos in that company,
Mm,
sharing value, adding value to the
mm,
audience through a video. So I already had that advantage. But the different thing right now is I have to be the ones going to edit it out because I
mm.
didn't have the funds to hire a person, because it was still new,
Wow.
So yeah, so technically that's it. Really.
Yeah. Are you, when you started the present ba, were you just doing it part-time, or like you went all in straight away?
Part time,
Part-time. But right now
um,
you're doing it full-time, is that
full
correct?
time.
Right. Oh.
So part time, we started that February 2018. I just went full time last November 30, 2019.
Mm, mm. Just recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very recently. Kasi ano na parang nahihirapan ako
Mm.
because again, my job was sales, operations, and logistics. Tapos meron pang itong the present. Sometimes I like sleep at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and wake up at 7 just to, you
Wow.
know, just to try to juggle all these things. And yeah, it was very difficult, but it was worth it.
Right. Yeah,
I
it is.
mean, you know,
Grabe, your impact to the Filipino community is really huge. By the way, one thing. Why were your contents Bisaya in the 80 videos, or is it a mixture ba? Yung bago pa, first
in
80
the beginning it was all in English.
English. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And then
So nganong problem gyapon ko what was the first video that was in Bisaya.
oh,
So
really?
I think that's also the reason why it became viral. And since then, I already know, okay, so what people want is in Bisaya. So I changed the dialect to Bisaya. So in the beginning, when we were doing it, it didn't have any subtitles. And then when we put like the subtitles, it was just a transcription of the same dialect.
Yeah.
And then people were saying, hey, sir, please uh, make an English subtitle because us from Luzon or from the US, we don't understand what you're saying.
uh,
So that's the reason why we changed the subtitle into
mm,
English. So that's it. It's like changing along the way.
wow. Wait. My jaw just dropped when you said na you started English. What made you think na you'll be doing it in Bisaya? What made you think?
So here's my logic before, like the reason why I started with English is because I think that everybody can understand English.
Uh,
Like people from the Philippines and from the US, they understand
right.
English.
Right.
But the challenge that we have here in the Philippines specifically is that we use English as the measurement of intelligence.
Right.
So it's like when we are fluent in speaking English, it's like, oh, this guy is a whole different level. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't reach them, things like that. And then a friend of mine said that what if you also try to create content that's in Bisaya, and then the topic is somehow very, very relatable, because I was talking about business, right? And also finance. But now I was thinking, okay, let's, and he suggested that topic, which is nga nung problema gyapon ko. So when we shot the video, I was very uncomfortable because, again, the fact is I was doing all of it in English. And kaya parang nanibago ako sarili kong nanibago ako, right?
Yeah, tama.
So yun, pag-publish, boom, nag-viral siya, and then okay.
Did it become viral like immediately, or parang within 24 hours, or parang slowly it picked up? How did it work?
It went viral immediately. So it's like within the first hour, we already have around 25,000 views within the first hour.
Wow.
And so it's like, it keeps on, like my phone was ringing all the time, notification, and things like that. And yeah. So it's the same experience that I had when we shot a video about Bayari Imong Utang. And the latest one that we had was Ayaw Pangwartahi Imong Anak, you know. So that video reached 100,000 views in 4 hours. So
amazing.
Yeah.
That's 100,000 people that were impacted by your videos. Just one video in 4 hours. Wow. I mean, guys, if you realize, the reason why I asked this, no, kasi what he doesn't share a lot, most of the time, we just see the contents that we consume from him, but we don't know the real story behind that, which is when he started, he was uncomfortable of him doing this. And, you know, kasi ako din, if you see me on YouTube, on social media, English din, kasi maybe I should try doing it in Bisaya as well, or because the truth is it's out of my comfort zone. Parang nagiging comfort zone ko rin yung pag-i-English. But I'm really inspired by your story, Jan. Now, have you experienced a crisis? Kasi we are experiencing a crisis right now. A lot of entrepreneurs are struggling. May mga negosyo ngayon na nag-close. Merong talagang I had speakers as well that they had to lay off some employees, and it's quite difficult. Have you experienced a crisis in your business? And if yes, what caused the crisis? And then how are you able to overcome the experience? And what did you learn from that experience as well?
Okay. So one of the advantages that I also have is I have an older brother, and the gap that I had with him was 13 years. Right? So I'm currently 26. So he's 39. So he had a business before, like when he was 23 years old and I was 10 years old, and I was doing it with him. So parang ako yung nagiging assistant niya.
Right.
And the business that we had was cell phone accessories business. And that time, wala pa yung iPhone, wala pa tong Samsung, Oppo. The well-known back then was 5110, 3310. If most probably naabutan mo rin yan, di ba?
Yeah.
And what we were selling were not the phones really, but the accessories of the phones, like casings, keypads, batteries, chargers, pouches. So the business was doing well in the beginning.
Okay.
However, the struggle that we went through was we couldn't keep up with the rampant evolution of Nokia back then, which was like, for example, like for this month, there's going to be 3310, and then after 1 month, there's going to be another unit and another unit and another unit. So we had been stocking up a lot of inventory of previous models that we couldn't sell anymore because it's obsolete. So it came to a point that competition were also like, you know, here in Davao City, we call it like DCLA or Chinatown, you know, where people can buy a lot of things for a very cheap price. And we were struggling in terms of inventory. And then number two is competition, price war.
Right.
And so that was the very first experience that we had he had to sell all of his inventory for 150,000 pesos only, but it was worth way more than that, you know?
Wow.
And that was a huge, you know, loss because, you know, it's a business, and then it's not working anymore, so we had to sell it. So that's,
I understand.
Yeah. So I experienced that at a very early age, which was an advantage. Then I also came to a point that I joined a network marketing company,
Mm-hmm.
and I was still 16 years old back then.
Mm-hmm.
Ended it at 19 years old. In the beginning, it's the same thing. It was good,
Mm-hmm.
the culture was good. But after like 2 years of doing the business, network marketing business, there were a lot of issues, management
Right.
and distributors and
Right.
things. And so like, oh no, what's happening? And then the group that I had that I was
Mm.
also leading was also asking, sir, what's happening? Ups, what's happening? It's like, what? Wait a minute.
Apps. Right. Right.
So
Understand.
that's a term.
Right.
So that's a thing. But
Mm.
currently, the struggles that we have right now is, so we have two businesses. Number one is the present. Number
Yeah.
two is, we call it TOG,
Mm-hmm.
which is a digital marketing agency.
Yeah.
It's very young, and
Yeah.
we have a client in the US, and we also have clients here in Davao City.
Yeah.
But the problem is, because of the COVID situation, the coronavirus situation, for the present, I have training contracts that have been put on hold
Mm-hmm.
because the
Yeah.
company are operating skeletally. So that's one. And then
Yeah.
they're also cutting costs. So parang wag muna
Understand.
ngayon. Yun
Understand.
sabi nila. And pangalawa is, I also have a lot of speaking engagements na mangyari dapat this April, but lahat
Mhm.
na-cancel because of this.
Yeah. Understand.
So, yun yung impact nun. Then,
Mm.
sa TOG naman, which is the digital marketing, is we also have a client na nag-stop rin kasi they also have to cut cost. So,
Right.
it's like, you know, diretso and things like that. But I understand. Hindi ako
Right.
nagalit. Parang I somehow foresee na ito talagang parang mangyari, no? And it's part of business.
Right.
So, ngayon, instead of dwelling on the situation, what we're
Uh,
just trying to do is to make something productive out of it.
mm.
Like calls like this.
Right. Right.
You know.
What I'm curious. So I think it's part of the question. I'm just gonna ask, like, what productive things have you been doing, or how did your daily routine change since this happened?
Okay. So, productive things. Number one is, instead of doing meetings outside, we have
Uh,
been doing meetings via Zoom like this one.
right.
And number two, this is the perfect time for me to just listen to my audience.
Mm.
And so it's the other way around, because here's what I noticed as well. Ever since the coronavirus situation happened, everybody is like at home,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody is putting out a lot of content.
Right.
So like, we're getting flooded with a lot of news with different content.
Mm.
And so it also affected our engagement, not our reach, but our engagement.
Okay.
And so what happened was, instead of me sharing what I know, I already did.
Mm-hmm.
I shared like 4 videos about what we can do about the corona situation.
Right.
But one of the things that I really value is, I also want to engage with them. So last night, we did a Facebook Live, and all we did was, I listened to them. I'm just like chika lang to
Yeah.
like the 300 people who joined the Facebook Live last night. I just asked them, hey guys, how are you doing? Kamusta mo diha?
Yeah.
Are you staying home? Are you washing your hands?
Yeah.
And then they also said, yes, sir. How about you? Are you doing
Mhm.
great? So it's like chika through a Facebook Live.
Right.
So that's number two. Number three is, we have been wanting to do this, but we didn't have the time to do it. But now, since we have all the time, the luxury of time, so
Mhm.
we're designing a digital course already. So
Yeah.
this is going to be our first one.
Mhm.
And it's still going to be about finance, because it's the most in demand.
Yeah.
And we're almost done, actually. So, I'm hoping that we're going to be the next Uber in a way,
Yeah.
just like what happened in 2008.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
things
Yeah, I'm,
like that.
I'm, I'm excited for that. Most big companies started during crisis. Sabi nga na for every amount of crisis, there's an equal amount of opportunity. And man, I'm excited for you. Now, I have this question kasi a lot of people ask advice, and I want to ask this advice. I want to ask this question. Assuming this crisis is gonna last for the next 5 years, how are you going to handle your employees, your business, your finances?
Whew, grabe, ang bigat naman, no? Paano ba? So, first of all, I don't really think that it's going to last for 5 years. I think this is going to be a maximum of 6 months to 1 year, but it
Okay.
depends. So, if
Right.
everybody's participating. So, let's just say assumptively that it's going to last for 5 years. So, let's talk about like the business first. So, if you have a business, definitely find ways to transition your traditional business to digital in whatever ways possible. So, this is what we are sharing to our clients as well. Like for example, some of our clients are in the restaurant business and they were not open to the idea of doing deliveries.
Okay.
But now clients have been doing their best to like open their doors for deliveries because they have to,
Right.
they still have to pay for the
Understand.
people. At the same time, the problem that they have is that their food is going to spoil if they're not going to sell it. So that's one of the things that they did, and which is good. So the point is, if you have a traditional business, try your best to at least expand. If you don't know how to do it, then start learning how to do it. There's a lot of information out there in YouTube, Google, or even like digital course. Maybe you have one of them. And yeah, so that's the best time. And for businesses as well, this is also the best time for them to engage with their staff or with their employees, even if it's like a Zoom call,
Right.
So most of the time when we are in the business, when we are doing the business, what happens is we are constantly pressured about time. Like we have to do this because we have deadlines that we have to achieve. But now we have the luxury of time, so let us use this to somehow listen to them instead and think about what we can work on the business, not in the business.
Yeah.
And yeah, so at least parang ano na siya, parang strategic planning na siya pero done online na lang. So
Right.
yun, it's especially if kung nasa executive level. So
That's amazing.
to employees naman, definitely malaki talaga yung tama ang employees right? Like if businesses are shutting down or closing down, that means employees are not earning. And so this is also the best time for them to learn. And we know this. You Fibo, most probably are going to get this a lot, or you have been getting this a lot, saying that people don't have time. That's the reason why they can't do their business or they can't do their thing. But the truth is they lack discipline.
Correct.
And now that we have the luxury of time, so this is the best time for them to like learn. Please lang kung if you're watching this video, pagtuon in taon para dili ta magkalawang atong utok ba.
Yeah. Right.
So
wow.
that's the employee side. And then I think pangatlo, what's the third one? So we have employees, business, and finances. Okay.
Yeah.
So finances, ito yung parang maganda na side. If you have an extra cash, ulitin ko, if you have an extra cash, this is the best time for you to store cash. Why? Because the markets are down. So when the markets are down, it's technically for sale, and this is the best time for us to invest. So kumbaga, for sale ang mga market, like for example, Apple, 2 to 3 weeks ago, it was $330 per share. And as of Tuesday, it was around $220. So it's for sale for $110 per share. So, and we know naman talaga na Apple will still last after this crisis. It will rebound even maybe 4 times or 100 times, diba? So this is the best time to store cash so that you can prepare to invest, right? And kung ano naman, sa finances is also the best realization na hindi dapat tayo gastos ng gastos sa mga bagay na hindi kailangan. Okay, so let's live like minimal lifestyle lang tayo. Kung ano yung kailangan natin, yun ang purchase it, things like that. And yeah, more on those two things: store cash and reduce your expenses. And this is also an eye opener for us to increase our income, in whatever ways possible. You may have 2 jobs, you may have a job, and then you want to start your own business on the side. Okay lang po yun. Basta ang point is maghanap tayo ng paraan. The government can only do so much. We can ask for their support, but we all know that they too need help. And kung tayo yung tao na hindi nag-a-add ng stress sa kanila, we are actually contributing to the society na rin.
Tama.
So, ganun.
Follow-up question. You said na be on cash so that, you know, it's gonna become much more, yung sale, mas tataas pa yung sale. We would have better discounts. If assuming that the market is at its lowest and you have the cash right now, what would you invest, or what are the things na what are you gonna invest in?
Okay. So, international markets, so una tayo sa stock market. No? So, sa stock market, first is going to be definitely Apple. No?
Okay.
So, I currently have a virtual account, but nagkataon lang talaga, because I didn't know that us Filipinos can invest internationally. But, natutunan ko lang siya bago lang yun. So, parang, okay, so this is good news. And Apple is definitely one of the stocks that we really wanted to purchase. No, bahala na gamay, bahala na konti.
Yeah.
As long as you have it, right? So, yun.
Yeah.
So that's international stocks. Coca-Cola, Starbucks as well. Starbucks right now is also struggling because we all know that Starbucks is more of a community and experience talaga yung binibenta nila.
Yeah.
And stores right now are shutting down. That also affect their price as well.
Yeah.
So yun yung sa international market. Sa Philippine markets naman, Jollibee is a good buy. Kahit na sabihin natin na baba sila ngayon because a lot of stores are shutting down. But again, it's Jollibee, diba? It has a brand.
Yep.
So, as of now, banks are also quite doing well. They are operating skeletally. But the point is, regardless of what situation that we're in, crisis man, or we are on the uptrend, we will always need money. And banks are there for that specific purpose. So banks are also good. Kung businesses naman, ito yung parang naisip ko lang bago lang rin. Because maraming nag-struggle sa business ngayon, and eventually when they resume their operations, they may have funds na they may lack funds to operate the business once again.
Okay.
Diba? They need to market it heavily because the moment na magbalik lahat, lahat mag-market na naman sa Facebook. Most probably yung Facebook, mamahal yung kanilang advertising cost. Wag naman sana. Pero yun. So, mangyari is, everybody is going to compete on marketing, and the good thing is consumers naman would want to go out kasi nasanay na sa bahay but they want to go out.
Yep.
And so this is, if you have an extra cash again, the best thing is if you have friends na may business and you can give them a loan, or you can also be like an equity, have an equity share of their business if they need the money to support the comeback of the restaurant.
Right.
So, ganun lang naman. The first two things, international stocks and national stock market, are very easy to do. Etong pangatlo ang medyo challenging, and it has more capital. It requires capital intensive, more capital, but it's doable as well.
Yep. Right. So, last question. So we discussed what you'll be investing in. You'll be investing in the stock market, international. You mentioned brands as well. And possibly may mga viewers dito who has an extra cash, right? So when is the best time for them to come in to buy? Like, we actually don't know when's the cheapest point. Pero what is your advice on that? Like, when's the best time na ngayon ba, next month pa ba, hihintay pa ba ako, or ngayon, like, yeah.
Magandang tanong yan. Yeah. Kasi knowledge wise, we have been like hearing this statement na buy low, sell high. Diba? Maganda masyado yung concept, buy low, sell high. Yeah. So it's very easy to say, but it's very hard to do. Like, how can we say that it's low? How can we say that it's already high?
Yeah.
Yan. So kaya nga anong nangyari, if you are, so I'm pertaining to investing. Ha?
Yep.
So iba kasi yung trading.
Yep.
So sa investing talaga is when you invest in the long term. So pangalawa is, meron tayong tinatawag na peso cost averaging. Yeah. So, for example, if the price is 100 pesos siya ngayon, tapos it's going down to 90 pesos, magbili ka ng, let's say, bumaba siya ng presyo, 90 pesos. You're just going to buy 10 shares. Tapos, next week, yung presyo niya, nagbaba na naman. From 90 pesos, nagiging 80 pesos. So, bili ka ulit ng 10 shares. So, mangyayari is, you have 20 shares and you purchase it on an average of 85 pesos.
Right.
So, parang for the long term, yung pera mo is umaakyat pa rin siya kasi while the market is going down, what you're doing is you're purchasing dahan-dahan.
Yep.
So, pag umaakyat na siya, parang good news na yun sa'yo.
Yep.
Okay? So, that's one of the things. Ang isa naman ng strategy na ginagawa ng iba is they wait for some good news to be consistent. Kasi ang consistent ngayon, puro bad news.
Right.
Diba? COVID cases in the Philippines, umaakyat, Okay, ganon. And tapos meron pa tayong mga political issues and things like that. So, what people are waiting for, yung mga ibang style na investors is, pag consistent na yung good news, then it somehow relates to the business world na aakyat na yung market. So that's a time na for them to buy rin dahan-dahan.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, kaya ganun. Wala talaga siyang specific na pag ganito, baba na talaga. Sometimes magdepende talaga yan sa'yo. Depende sa risk tolerance mo.
Right. If you were to choose, kasi that's really good. Yung consecutive na good news, that was new for me. I'm more on a technical side sa investor. If you were to choose like just one strategy, what would you prefer kaya?
Okay.
Or what would they do?
So kung ako, so again, depende to sa manood ng video, no?
Pag ikaw, sige.
So kung ako, ang titingnan ko talaga is, will the company be there 5 to 10 years from now despite the crisis? That's one. And that's the reason why I mentioned Jollibee and Apple, kasi nga, and even banks, because they will be, for me, they will be still existing and even dominating the marketplace 5 to 10 years from now. So that's one. Pangalawa is, if the price is like for you, mababa na siya, then you're going to, this is the time for you to invest. And sometimes, pagdating sa price, it's very subjective. And we know this. Some people find Lacoste brand for a 5,000 peso polo shirt to be very expensive, right? Kaya pag once mag-sale sila ng 50% off, 2.5 na lang, people are going to, logically, they're gonna think na, okay, parang mura na to, sige. But for some people, mahal pa rin yung 2.5.
That's right.
So that's why you have to know your yourself first and your tolerance and your finances as well. So, ganun siya na 5 years from now, kung nandito na pa siya, is the price good enough for you to start investing in the market? And then pangatlo talaga is ganito, since na-mention na dito, do not put all your money in the market, or do not put all your life savings dahil baba yung market tapos nagsabi si Jan Ocampo na, uy, mag-invest kayo. No, please lang. Kasi nga, ganito yan. Investing is something that hindi talaga natin ma-predict kung aakyat or baba yung market. Hindi naman natin in-expect na magkaroon ng coronavirus situation, but nangyari siya.
Right.
So, only invest the money that you can afford to lose. Hindi po, wag po tayo na kumbaga, like all in, hindi ito poker. Okay?
Right.
So, yun lang naman.
Right. I get it.
Kung ako yun, no? So, yun ang gagawin ko. I check the company, number one. And then I see if the stock price is undervalued enough. Most people na nasa stock market, ang sinasabi talaga nila is undervalued ang mga market ngayon, which is true.
Yeah.
And then pangatlo talaga is, kung may extra tayo na pera, for example, kung ako meron akong extra pera, yun lang ilagay ko doon.
Yep. Kasi marami tayong viewers, most probably, real quick lang, na wala pang, gusto ko mag-invest sa stock market. Paano ba? Saan ako pupunta? Magkano yung capital? Can you share like real, how can they start investing? Okay, na ako. Paano ako makapag-invest? Where should I go?
Okay, sige. So, sa stock market, so this is considered to be our portfolio income, right? And if you want to invest in the national stock market, ibig sabihin the Philippine Stock Exchange, yung mga companies na makita natin dito sa Pilipinas, you can open an account in Call Financial or First Metro Securities. Yun yung mga brokers na ginagamit ko, right?
Right.
And pag sabihin naman natin magkano yung minimum, magdepende sa, based on my experience sa Call Financial, is 5,000 pesos yung minimum to fund the account.
I think ngayon, bro, 1,000 na lang yung COL.
1,000. Nice. So mas
dati
mas
5K, I
open
think
to the public.
1,000 na. Not sure pero last check ko 1,000. So malupit. Mas easier for
Nice.
people.
Maganda yun. At least more people can invest, di ba? And then for first mentor securities, nasa 2,000 pesos yung minimum to fund. But again, guys, ganito, please lang, just to clarify, hindi ibig sabihin na naglagay ka ng 5,000 pesos, you own the stock market. No.
Right.
That's the first step. You fund it, but you check kung ano yung mga companies doon, tapos meron siyang specific na price and you buy. Ganon. And for international markets naman, ang ginagamit ko is eToro. Okay, so eToro. Ang good thing is ang eToro meron siyang demo account. So if you want to start investing na hindi muna yung pera mo, yung parang virtual money lang muna, then you can try that. At least you get the feel of how it is.
Great.
So, yun. You can also do forex investing, and marami ng mga brokers dyan. eToro is one of them, and meron din tayong mga brokers na Central Tama and things like that. But mas risky lang yung forex.
Right. We went over time kasi talagang marami akong nakuha na value from you, John. I've been taking down notes here. How can they, and a lot of people are asking this as well, how can they follow you? How can they learn more about you? Go ahead.
Okay. So, you can follow us on Facebook. That's the most dominant platform that we have right now. Currently, we have 295,000 followers there. And we put out content as much as possible twice a week. Ngayon, we are studying the brand and we are, kumbaga, as of this recording, we are gauging the market, which is, as of now, hindi masyadong magandang idea if we put out content sa ngayon.
Okay.
So, but we still can, which is baba lang namin konti. Instagram, we're also there. The present pa rin. And we're also active on YouTube. We just started out on LinkedIn and Twitter. So it's like all the common platforms. Wala kaming TikTok kasi hindi kami marunong magsayaw and ganon.
Follow the present. If you could see my news feed, puno na yung mukha niya kasi naka-see first ako. John, I really appreciate you being here, for accepting, for giving us time, for generously sharing your ideas, thoughts. Guys, if you have got value, go ahead. Siguro the only way, if you've got value from this, to thank him, is to go ahead to his Facebook page, YouTube, lahat ng social media accounts, mag-click ka ng like, click subscribe. And not just that, kailangan mag-see first ka, okay? Or mag-notification bell ka. So, John, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you've got value from this, by the way, do you have any last words? Do you have any last statements you want to share? Or
ano pa? Wala naman. Just hope for the best na mawala natin yung coronavirus situation and maximize this time to be productive.
Right. So, if you think of it, si John, affected din, pero it's not a way for him to just stop and then just wait for everything. Pero what's actually happening is mas naging busy siya finding other ways and starting a new company, which he believes na it will be the next Airbnb and Uber, diba? So malupit.
Sana.
And I believe in that. I believe in your passion, in what you do. And John, again, thank you so much. It is my pleasure. And I really appreciate your work.
Thank you, Fibo, for having me on this venture.
All right. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Hey, thank you so much for watching this interview. By the way, the reason why we conduct these interviews, because we're actually raising funds so that we could provide for our frontliners and also for our less fortunate kababayans. And right now, it's still ongoing, okay? If you want to donate and participate and join this summit so that you can also help our less fortunate kababayans, just visit this link, entrepcharitysummit.com. Just go to entrepcharitysummit.com to actually donate and also receive all these interviews for free. Once again, thank you so much. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, go ahead and click subscribe so that when we publish a new video, you will get notified. Maraming salamat. Until next time, this is Fibo Lim. God bless you and stay safe.